So what do you feel that maybe one or a few of your best tools or your teacher's tools that they use to help people connect to this authentic self?
I got more than one, Chip, you
Oh,
know
I
that.
know you do. Yeah.
One is the way that we work with the breath is profoundly different and deep changing almost immediately. So in learning to focus on the breath, taking deeper breaths like you just started breathing right now. That was cool. I saw that. I love that. That changes everything in our body. It changes how our brain and our nervous system and our autonomic nervous system function like this fast. So I hope you who are watching, you start breathing deeply right now. So that's one huge thing. And with the Forest Yoga practitioners and the Forest Yoga teachers, we watch for and coach the breath very adamantly. So with our teachers, we teach one from a place of authentic passion. So there's none of that la la bullshit going on in the yoga class, which is such a relief. And two is we really help people learn to wrangle their attention so they're not all spacing out all over like, oh, bird going by. Oh, look at that sexy person over there. La la. It's like, how do you focus in on what you're doing and what you're feeling? So we teach people how to get to the genius level on feeling and accessing that information and turning it into good information about what to do next. It informs your next decision about moving in your body and even about how you interact on a personal level and relationship. Like going back to every aspect of your life with your mate, with your children, with your people in a work area. So it's like learning how to discern the signals you're getting on that kinesthetic level makes you so much wiser. It's amazing. And you get into that, you get so much sweetness from your practice when you do it that way with the deep breathing and with tracking feeling. It becomes delicious like within the first 15 minutes of a class. That's pretty fast. And I love to teach people how to work the pleasure spectrum. So we go into places where there's quivers and we bravely chase after where the pain is locked into the body and free it. And each of those things bring up such different levels of feeling of excitement and fearful and then the sweetness of when the endorphins kick in, when some pain spot just goes, oh, I can let this go. And these are regular occurrences in every class. And there's just such a deep range of experience that happens. I want to go into sequencing too, which is the way that each of us sequences the class. It's very intelligently put together so that the core and the brain is connected and warmed up so that you go through with a chance of healing your injuries and much less chance of getting injured. And you can have a pile of poses, and if you put them together incorrectly, it can really hurt. So our people are very educated. It takes a lot to become a certified forest yoga teacher. And it's just like anyone who's ever had any experience with athletics. Like let's say somebody's a long distance runner or a speed runner or a hurdler or a bicycle triathlete or whatever. It's like you don't just get on your bike and pump 100 miles an hour right away. That's called getting injured and ruining your sport. You warm up for it. You work on strengthening the areas that are going to be under the most stress. You warm down for it. I mean, it's that same intelligence needs to be applied to the sequencing of a yoga class. And in a lot of classes, regular yoga, that isn't true. There just isn't that awareness of it or that education. And in forest yoga, that starts on day one in the teacher training course. And we are constantly working our forest yoga teachers on upping their education so they become more and more adept at exquisite sequencing. Sequencing for specifics, like sequencing for a neck injury, sequencing for strengthening a back, sequencing for someone who's just had a baby. All these different levels of sequencing, and that your education is ongoing. And whenever the forest yoga teachers assist me, their education quantum leaps.
That's exciting stuff.
It's
I love
very,
it.
It's very
Yeah.
exciting. And it's like you get a good workout, you get fit, you start to balance out. So if you're carrying extra weight, you start getting to what is making you overeat and start making better food choices. You start feeling better in your body instead of being numb because it's such an uncomfortable place to be. Same with the pain. Lots of us carry pain from different dramas and traumas in our life, and you begin to get skillful at releasing and healing your own pain. And that's power. That's really big power, and that's exhilarating to gather that kind of power.
Oh, I agree. I really agree with that. And I feel like that's one of your styles of yoga's biggest assets, I feel, is the challenge of your style of yoga is to take on that work. The poses and the flexibility. That's almost just, again, that's like this thing that happens accidentally. And as soon as you take on that warrior's choice, as you put it, these things just start to develop. Whenever I work with you, I have these quantum leaps where things just happen. I press up in a handstand and forget that I couldn't do it before because I'm just concentrating on addressing what's inside and going into that feeling state. And then, oh my goodness, here I am in a handstand.